How's it going, people?
Good afternoon, folks. We're back. How are you?
This should be fun because we don't know what the hell. Well, we never really know what we're talking about. But
we're
we're
just
gonna,
trying to make some comments.
yeah, we're gonna jump all sorts of subjects at this point.
So get ready.
So
So
go ahead.
mind blower.
I'm gonna let him start it because I talk a
We're
lot.
talking about the crime. Crime is very bad.
Where? Because it's everywhere. Where?
It's everywhere, right?
Literally, it's everywhere.
Everywhere. I can tell you 5 states right now: Chicago, Seattle, Portland,
Okay,
New York,
Chicago,
and California.
Chicago.
Now, Chicago, this is the best. They voted for a new mayor because that Lightfoot was no good, right? They went from bad to worse. The crime in Chicago went up 38%.
38%. I mean, you're 12 short of 50%. Okay.
In only a couple of months.
I mean,
because he's only new.
Think about that. Now, let's stay on that. Let's go to New York City. Our mayor just put literal vending machines that have condoms. They have crack, lip balm, and is there needles? Or is Narcan, which I don't mind Narcan. I think that should be really everywhere because, you know, people do drugs. It's the way it is. But here's the issue with that. It's a lot like the gun issue, okay? The thing about gun laws is it only affects people who obey the laws, and those aren't your problem. The problem are the people who don't obey your laws and aren't going to obey your new laws.
Right.
When you put up a crack vending machine like this, or a vending machine that is holes, you know what? And I get it. You want people to be safer. You want them to use the condoms. You want them to use safe. Here's what really happens. What really happens is the first person who gets there breaks the machine, robs the stuff out of it, and then goes and sells it to all the crackheads at like a penny a piece until they can afford their drugs, and then goes and does their drugs and has unsafe sex.
Good job, Mayor.
There's no. It's just the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
We went from dumb to dumber, dumb and dumber. De Blasio to Adams.
Are you?
Please, people.
Wow.
Holy shit. Then you got another one.
Are you Jim Carrey or Jeff Daniels? It's one or the other. You're Dumb and Dumber.
Now we'll go to Portland. To stop the drugs there, they're giving them tickets.
I mean, come on. They're giving them tickets. I swear to you.
Now, here's the crackhead. Wake up the next day and go, oh, shit, should I buy crack or go pay for the fucking ticket?
I mean, do you ever think they wake up and go, oh, my God, I got more than one ticket here. I got to do something. They're going to come and arrest me. They don't arrest you anyway. You can do literally anything. This guy got robbed. Wait. This guy got robbed in L.A., okay? He's like some sort of a director or a photographer. His name is like Herbies or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
okay.
I want to say Heebies or some shit. I don't know what his name is. I don't really care.
His name Herpes.
So,
oh, shit.
Because once you got him, you can't get rid of him. Anyway, so here's the deal. So he got in his car with his son, and they were going to go and film something. So he pulls down into downtown LA or some crap, parks the car for 10 minutes, comes back 10 minutes later. There's 3 broken windows, and the $30,000 in camera equipment is gone.
10 minutes.
He calls the cops twice. They hang up on him. They don't even think they answer it and hang up on him. You got to check out the interview. It's phenomenal.
Seriously. So
he decides, he's a filmmaker. So he has to like actually see the shit out. So he goes to the precinct. He fills out a complaint, whatnot. He says the lady officer is as nice as can be. She's talking to him. She then turns at the end and goes, well, I doubt anything will happen because, basically the police have been defanged. Defanged. Think about what that says. If a cop is saying that, think of what the crooks know. If the cops know they're defanged, the crooks know they're defanged.
That's why they're doing it.
They get away with everything at this point. It's the stupidest thing going.
This is what we got.
Now, let's get back to New York. Daniel Penny. Daniel Penny is a former Marine who
was on the train.
Yeah, he was on a train, and he ended up accident. And I'm gonna say it's accidental because it was. He didn't go on. He didn't wake up that morning and say, "I'm gonna go on that train and kill Jordan Neely." He didn't say that shit. He woke up that morning and said, "I got places to be and things to do." Right. He wasn't some crackhead running around the trains with nothing to do except threaten people. Okay.
Right.
That's what he walked into that day.
And the man was just indicted.
And the fact of the matter is he probably wouldn't have acted if it was just him and Neely on the train. But there were women and children there, and he was threatening the women and children. And so basically he went to restrain him, and he grabbed him from behind. And, I don't even think it was a chokehold, to be honest with you. I don't know if they're going to find like that the esophagus or the trach. I think when they fell down, when they went to the floor, maybe his esophagus got banged or, something along that line. Because
if he was struggling, he was giving it a fight.
Well, if you look at the position from the pictures that they show in the video, the crux of his elbow is not up into the throat.
It's on the chest.
It's actually on the chest.
Right here.
And that's a little more to what people know as like what they call a sleeper hold in wrestling. Sleeper hold isn't a chokehold. It actually squeezes you from the outside and presses on your chest. Anyway, chokehold is straight into the esophagus, the larynx. Anyway, so I don't think he was trying to kill the guy. The other thing is, he had two people there that were also aiding him in it. One was a minority. I don't know what the other was. They were all races on the train.
Yeah, there was no.
This had nothing to do with race whatsoever, as much as Sharpton and these people want to make it sound like it does. Nothing whatsoever. And the truth of the matter is, like, you can turn around and say, well, I heard someone turn around and say, well, there was a man killed here. There was a man killed there because that man chose to threaten other people, and not because this man walked into him.
Right.
Okay. He threatened people. If you threaten people, you just might get the worst of it. That's the way it works. I'm sorry.
Works, right.
I don't mean to be that blunt, but that's the truth.
And these politicians, like Sean Golden, out there, are saying that when you do that, you know death is coming. If you no, you don't, because like my friend just said here, my brother just said, he's not really choking him.
No.
So they're saying like, oh, he knew that if he did that, he's gonna die.
And
no,
even
not
so,
necessarily the
other
person
thing,
dies, right?
well, I'd like to point this out too, that we haven't seen a toxicology report yet, and that's quite a huge piece of evidence.
Yes, it is. That's a good 75%.
You may find out that he didn't even choke. He might have had a heart attack, and if he had a heart attack, was it from drugs? We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know this yet, and this is the problem with everybody jumping to conclusions.
Jumping the gun, right?
I'm not concluding anything, except one thing: that this gentleman was not on there to create a problem in his life.
No.
And that's the truth.
No.
This gentleman did not get on a train that morning and say, you know what, my life is just going too freaking smooth.
Yeah,
I gotta change that right now. So I'm gonna go screw with this guy, this dancer over here, because he looks like someone I could beat up. The guy wasn't dancing. The guy was threatening. The guy was yelling. The guy was acting like a lunatic. At that point, I don't think he looked much like Michael Jackson. No. Okay.
No. Michael Jackson didn't threaten act like a lunatic.
Well, the main thing is, I want to know why we haven't seen this toxicology report, because it's been a while now, and it should have come out already. So why isn't it out? What don't we know? It's amazing how they let out what they want you to know.
Right. They just want you to know that he choked him and he killed him. That's all they want you to know.
I'm gonna put it to you like this: if you personally you're watching this, and you think that he's wrong, that Daniel Penny's wrong,
you could let us know.
You by all means tell me, but I would never ask you to stop watching because you're allowed your opinion.
It's your opinion.
But
you're right.
But I would ask you this: would you rather it be 2 a.m. with your daughter on a subway, with either Neely on the train with her,
or Mr. Penny,
or Penny on the train with her?
I'd rather have Mr. Penny
alone, just the two of them. So you decide. I can't make that decision for you. But, to me, the answer is pretty damn obvious.
It's the city's fault. They're to blame.
Well, when you've arrested a man 42 times...
I was just about to say 42 times.
I'm sorry,
38 assaults, right? You're right. 42 times.
He punched a 60-year-old lady in the head
67-year-old woman.
And broke her eye socket. Right. She has no eye, no sight, or I don't know if she has the eye, but he literally broke the orbital socket out of the eye.
He goes into a center, mental health center. They let him walk out. Why? Because there's an age limit. They say they can't hold you no more. And really, I think they should change the law on that, because if you're mentally ill and violent like this man was, it doesn't matter what age you are.
Right.
You should still be locked up. He walked out because his age. That's what they're saying.
At the very least, even, okay, so...
That's insane.
So at the very least, you say,
I use that word insane, sorry.
We don't have the space for him, or he's overage or whatever else. You set him up with some sort of psychiatric help.
Right. You don't just what age limit.
Yeah, even if it's on an outpatient basis, you set him up somehow.
Keep an eye on some people like this.
If he's a drug addict, you get him on a program, and you start to but don't wait until he's dead and then blame the guy who had to kill him by accident. It's not his fault.
That's what the city is doing right now.
It's not his fault. He didn't put this guy on the street.
And the ones that are lost, the ones that are lost that are protesting this, they're just lost.
Yeah.
Because they have no clue.
It's not that. Again, it comes down. Protesters, listen. When I understand protesting. Wait. I understand protesting for your union. Okay, so 32B and J, they want raises, so you get whole group of people together.
Right, you
allowed
want to fight
be.
for health care,
They
this and
union,
that,
well,
right?
but they've got skin in the game. I understand they've got skin in the game.
Right.
So you get like 132 B&J guys together and they protest, they pick a line, this and that. When you see protesters like this, and just because they happen to be the same you in terms of their skin color, okay, doesn't mean that it really means anything to them. Because in reality, it doesn't. And again, I'd go back to the idea of Black Lives Matter. They bamboozled everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
And that's to use a Louis Farrakhan word. They bamboozled everybody.
Everyone.
Okay?
Bamboozled. There's a guy it was a Christmas. Santa Claus coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
Burgermeister Mike
Nice
said, I've been
burger.
bamboozled.
Yeah. I trained. No. Anyway. So, like when I think about that, like, people protesting, there's only 3 reasons they protest. One is social. They don't have enough of a social life. Maybe they're online all the time. And this gives them a way to see people.
Yeah, get out there, right.
The other thing is they're getting paid, because most protests today are actually no different than
Right.
your
They're a group being
what
paid.
are those called? Those guys who like promote shit on YouTube, and I can't think what they're called. Like that Dylan Mulvaney. What's her name? She's an enthusiast. No, she's whatever they are. They're some sort of YouTube social superstar. Anyway,
Yeah, social media stars.
right, it's whatever it is. I forget. YouTube enthusiast. I don't even know what it was. But anyway,
it's like that Logan Paul, all of them like that.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
So there's that way. Protesters are now that as well, and they get paid for being there. They're literally about 30% are paid for being at the protest. And the last and final ones, they just want to have some control over the city. So they want to be able to shut down a street. They want to be able to. Now,
traffic. Everything.
I would love the irony to be one day that the person who's standing in front of that ambulance and won't let it get by doesn't know that the ambulance is on the way to their house. That would be just the ultimate irony.
That would wake them up.
The ultimate irony.
That would be a wake-up call, because, like you say, right, my brother's right here. Look, you're blocking traffic. Ambulance, fire department.
There should be no reason. I don't care.
I'm a fire department. Right? Your house could be on fire.
You have a right to protest, but you do not have the right to stop someone from getting life-saving treatment. Mm-hmm. You don't.
And you don't have the right to stop other people from living and going on about their lives.
Right. Okay, so we did Daniel Penny. Okay, so get me with another one.
But the crime industry, it's just, it's funny. It's not funny, but look at it. Crime vending machine. Come on.
A couple of months back, I had a car chase right in front of my building downstairs.
Yes.
And you can look it up. It was 92nd Street. It's outside of a store called Key Food. We had one car come screaming down 2nd Avenue, followed by... Actually, I'm sorry. An SUV screaming, followed by a car. Pull up on the sidewalk. The other car rams into him from the side. Guy gets out with a gun in his hand, runs around to the other side, grabs a bag out of the SUV, runs back, jumps into the car, and takes off.
Right here, right on 2nd Avenue.
This happened on 92nd, 93rd, and 91st through 93rd on 2nd Avenue.
Where we are.
You can look it up on YouTube. It's
you
actually
can just walk out, go into the supermarket, get shot.
Yeah.
That's how.
So the crime in the city is insane.
But they don't got those people probably, but they're going after people like Penny, Trump. Come on, people.
Okay, so let's get to the Trump indictment now. Okay, so the Trump indictment really is a bunch of crap, and I'll tell you why. A lot of people, it pays to make it sensational, but it's all just crap. It's all about trying to stop him from running
and being president, and beating Joe Biden, really which he did the first time.
As far as like, Judge Judy has a phrase, and it says, if it doesn't make sense, it's not true. Well, what doesn't make sense is Mar-a-Lago is probably the size of 3 to 4 city blocks. The house. Yeah. Do you know how many rooms are in this house? I don't know. I swear.
15 rooms, man?
I swear I should look it up and find out. I should look up on Google right now how many rooms are in Mar-a-Lago. Okay? On top of that, you have people there who are billionaires that stay there. Dignitaries, kings, queens, people who have immense amounts of jewels and stuff like that. There has to be a vault. Let's start, with that whole thought, that there's a vault there. On top of that, there's got to be at least 100 rooms. And do you really believe that Trump would keep classified things in a bathroom? What do you think he's sitting on a bowl reading classified? Come on.
He's not taking a crap.
Downstairs in a basement underneath a pipe. You don't think that was put there by the FBI? You're crazy. He did.
And what my brother just said right there, now, they put it there. Now, when they went there to raid it, they stopped his lawyers from going in.
Yeah.
They stopped anything, so you couldn't see. So you don't think? I mean, use your imagination.
Now, honestly, let's say I wanted to come to your house, and I wanted you to leave your house. Okay, so I can do stuff there. I'm a cop. Would you do it? Would you do it? Wouldn't you be worried I'd plant something, or
Of course.
Shouldn't you have the right
Common
to just
sense.
stand there and watch? Not getting away.
Not getting away, but
Not
staying
getting away.
there.
Not even you. Your lawyer. Okay, so your lawyer is not going to lose his mind and start hitting people and shit like that.
No.
Your lawyer's going to stand there and watch.
And make sure everything is done right.
I mean, what's the harm in having one person? Tell me why you can't have a lawyer stand there and watch. There's only one reason: you're doing something wrong and you don't want to see him. That's it.
There you go.
I believe now you could check this because I might be
We
right,
could be wrong.
but I think they even shut off the security cameras.
They did. I was just about to say that. They had no video access at all.
I don't know why, but I remember that.
Because they don't want you to see what's going on.
I mean,
now, seriously, if you ever watch TV shows or movies when they do this, there's always somebody in the house.
Yeah.
There's always somebody in the house.
Yeah.
You know, like when lawyers or FBI comes and raids the house, there's somebody there.
You've got to have representation.
Either they're sitting on their couch, like in the living room like this, and waiting for them to fit. But somebody is there.
Do you remember?
In this place, nobody was there.
Yeah.
Figure it out, people.
Anyway, so
all
of these indictments are absolutely absurd. They're ridiculous. They're beyond. And the funny part is, the more they're doing it, the higher his polls are going, and the better his funding is getting.
Right, because people are in their right minds. Anybody in their right minds.
Okay, so Pride event at White House.
Oh Jesus.
With the influencer. That's the word I was saying. Not enthusiast. Influencer. Okay, with this influencer that flashed. Now, first, let's start off with this.
I was just going to say, let's start off with the flag.
The flag, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to bring up.
In this country.
The legality. Okay, first, can I tell the legality?
Yes.
You can take it. The legality of a flag is the American flag is always center, and it's always above the other flags.
Right. If you're going to put any other flag, it goes on the side of the other of our American flag. And our flag, like he just said, is supposed to be up higher.
Right.
What did our president do? He pushed the pride flag higher. That's illegal, first of all, and disrespectful to our country.
And in center.
And there was
two American and one pride.
Right. And there was a transgender, of course, just flashing her breast.
Now, you got. I'll let you.
Yeah, no, flashing her breast, and he called him or her a hero.
Let's call him up. Let's call her. Let's be respectful. It was a lady.
Right. Okay.
Because I won't. If she tries to play sports, I will not address her as a she.
Right.
Because then that's detrimental to somebody's health. The person she's playing against.
Right.
Okay, but wait a minute now.
Okay.
Now, I think I've addressed this earlier, and I just want to make because this is a classic point. You tell me you want to be treated like everybody else. You tell me you don't want to be outcast. You want to be. Why? My question is, what woman, to use your term, cis woman, I believe that's right, I don't even know, what woman with XY would show her boobs at the White House? What? There's none. You know what would do that? A 12-year-old girl or who happens to be...
Not a grown woman's going to go to the White House to stand
that's
on the lawn
mentality.
and flash her boobs is right.
It's an immature move.
Right.
It's an immature move to show you're special. No other reason. Now, if that's the way you want me to look at transgender people, you're giving a very, very poor example. Yeah. And like, that's why I say, you're not looking to be treated like everybody else.
No, you want
attention. You want exactly. You want attention. And then when you get it, the way you create more attention is by saying you don't want it.
Right.
It's like the person who says, "I don't want to be photographed," when in reality, that's all they want.
You're not like the civil doing that. Even like the gay pride here, right? Same thing on the floats.
I mean, that's just insane.
Guys are whipping their dicks around.
I mean, please.
One guy's bending over with leather with his ass out. Guy's whipping it. I mean, is that what? Okay. I don't know.
I'm sorry. And again,
if you just be on a float, wear what you want to wear and wave.
I turned around to somebody. I was talking to somebody.
You don't have to do sexual things.
And I said, you know what? because they turned around and they told me, well, I just wasn't tolerant. They heard me speaking like this, and I just wasn't tolerant. And I said, no, I'm very tolerant. I could hang out with Caitlyn Jenner. I could hang out with. There was a guy. I think his name was Buck Angel, and he was a woman who became a guy.
Yes.
I could hang out with him. He was a normal person.
Yes.
And that's all I was asking was, could you be a normal
Just
person?
be normal.
I'm not looking to hang out with an 11-year-old girl. The example being Dylan Mulvaney. Now let's take Mulvaney for a minute. So Mulvaney starts out as a gay gentleman, which I can totally accept. Goes from a gay gentleman to a drag person. I can accept that, not a problem. Goes from a drag person
to the transgender.
To the transgender. Goes from transgender to transgender, cis, bi, whatever. Now there's like 5 different. Okay, so now the latest one is she's a lesbian. Right? He's a transgendered lesbian who wants to get pregnant by a woman. And you're not looking for attention. First off, if this was really what you wanted, why would you tell somebody that? Don't you think that's going to bring attention immediately?
Right, there you go.
I mean, that's logically speaking, that's like me turning around and saying, I'm a cis alien with, like from, I know this is going to get me attention. And that you got to know too.
That's what they're doing it for.
I don't, listen, nobody who knows me knows what I like in the bedroom and don't like. Okay? The reason is I don't talk about it because it's my business.
Right. And you
not
keep your
yours.
business in your own privacy of your own room. You don't have to go out there and flash it like they do.
Listen, I've known this guy for 48 years. Okay? You don't know Jack. Like, I'm telling you, he can't tell you anything about what I'm into. Nope. Okay? 48 years, and he don't know what I'm into.
That's right.
All right? So, and I don't know what he's into. Right. He's my best friend. And what are you into? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway.
I'll tell you later.
No, but seriously, 48 years, and I don't know what he likes and doesn't like.
Right now, I'm not into nothing.
Dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't pay attention. I swear. Anyway, but seriously, that's the way people are. That's people.
Yep.
Okay? I mean,
they just want to be noticed, like you said, man.
That's what it comes down to. I mean,
it's insane.
Let me put it this way. Again, I know him 48 years. And I don't know nothing about what he's into. I don't even know Dylan Mulvaney, and I know he wants to get pregnant by a woman while he's dressed as a woman.
There you go.
But yet he's gay. I don't understand.
Wait, and there's someone just came out. She was a woman, came a man, and is pregnant.
I mean,
now she's on the cover of a magazine.
Right, I see that.
So why you want to be noticed?
But you know what? If you're pregnant, I'm sorry, you're not a man. Right. If you want to be a man, that means you don't want to be pregnant.
XY or X for men?
XY.
XY is for men, right?
Yeah, XX is woman.
There you go.
And the other thing is the special thing about the XY is you can only get it from your father. So in other words, like in your example, okay? So your example. Well, no, I was gonna say your example. You, Keith, and Kevin and your dad were the only ones who have your genetics on that level.
Right.
So in other words,
there's our sons now.
Right. Well, that's it now. Tony. Right. Exactly. And it's me with Ed.
My
exactly.
Kevin has a son.
But that's the only time it'll match up. Yes, my nephew. Anyway, okay, so that's basically my point. Is that
you don't have to flash like that. That was a disgrace to our country.
Yeah, that really was.
It really was. Because, like I said,
and then what was the answer? Oh, this is my truth. I was showing my truth.
Now the sad part is he called her a hero.
Yeah, brave.
But he does not call our veterans heroes. Yeah.
Well, no, but I want to stay on the truth a minute because this is something I've been hearing a lot from not just transgender, but from everybody across the board. And I'm going to tell you something, okay? Your truth is not truth. It's a situation. Truth is fact. There is only one. Right. There's no two truths, okay?
Who used to say that? Dragnet.
And like some people, there's an old saying that two things can be true at the same time.
Right.
Yes, they can, but they somehow align. Okay, they somehow align together. And to say that ripping open your shirt is your truth, first off, you don't know what truth means because that's a verb. No, it's not. You're ripping up. You're doing something. You're ripping. It's a verb and a noun. It's not truth. It's a sentence.
That's why we gotta
It
watch
just
what we
makes
vote
absolutely
for
no
in
sense.
24.
There's certain phrases. Another one that drives me freaking nuts. I shouldn't even go into this, but what the fuck is when people use the word whenever incorrectly.
Oh,
So they're like, whenever Thursday. It's like, no, whenever doesn't mean one day. You can't pick one day. It means, you mean when Thursday came, not whenever Thursday I did. It just drives me crazy. But that's for another video.
that's another. But that was a disgrace, and
Okay, so who else are we on?
now I would like to bring up,
Go ahead.
and it's very sad. Moms for Liberty. If anybody ever heard.
Oh God, this is crazy.
of it. Okay, moms out there are defending their children against stuff like this.
Understand what they want. Can you hold
Yes.
that thought? Understand what they want. All they want to do is to be able to tell your school what not to teach their kids, not yours.
There.
Not yours. They don't care about yours. You do what you want with yours. That's your kid. But they have like schools that the majority of them, they're small communities,
Right.
and they just want to be able to have a say in the curriculum.
Right.
You can finish now.
No, and now they're being called extremists.
They're putting them up with Ku
With
Klux Klan.
Klan, ISIS even. Oh,
Who did they call? They called DeSantis the Grand Wizard
yeah.
on one of these
And
award
all these
shows.
moms are defending their children because they're being pushed. You don't push it on other people. Like, hey, this is how stupid the politicians are too. They're saying, we want to,
It's our children.
our
That's a
children.
big one.
Yeah, okay. And then they said the Republicans want to ban books. No, we're not banning
No,
books. We're banning the books out of the school.
library, not.
Out of the library.
Listen, you can go on Amazon. Listen, if you want your kid,
You could go on
to read the
Amazon,
book.
right?
go on Amazon and buy it. Go to
If
the
you
regular,
want-
go
right.
to the regular public library and rent it.
Right.
Do
You want
whatever.
your kid to learn porno and all this crap?
That's
your
great.
business.
That's
You cannot push it on other people's
Right.
kids and think you could get away with it.
Well, here's the issue. Okay, so if you go back in history, and you look at really what's the word, communistic type leaders. Okay, what you'll find is that they always go after the kids first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they've got to they've got to get the youth because they're more pliable mentally, and once you get that, then you create strife in the home.
Right.
And when you create strife in the home, then you can what's the word? Separate, divide and conquer. I couldn't think of this phrase.
I mean, right here in Connecticut, they had kids talk about it behind the parent on video behind the parents' back. I mean, the idea is they're pushing it on us. You don't push it.
Listen, in this society where right now 30% of the kids are passing and 70% can't write their names,
Right.
can't read an analog clock, can't write cursive.
Can't even read.
Go and look on YouTube some of the stupidest things millennials say. Or
Oh my god.
look it up, you'll be amazed. Like they literally ask them something like, when was the War of 1812? And they don't know.
Oh, one kid said, was that World War II?
Yeah.
I just gave him the answer.
Yeah.
1812. Holy crap.
I goof around and I like to ask them questions that I learned in first grade, and I'm not even kidding when I say that. Like, who was the father of our country? You'd be shocked at some of the answers I get. Oh my gosh, you'd be shocked.
Oh man.
Like, it wouldn't even surprise you if they go James Brown, or if they say, no, I swear, I'm not even joking.
Yeah, right.
Then-
Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you'd be shocked at some of the answers. Shaquille O'Neal. It's like, whoa, something's not right here. And the answers they give,
and they went to college.
You can ask them. Like, how many nickels? Oh wait, how much does 20 nickels make? And they'll go 80 cents. 80 cents. I mean, they have their mentality so far gone.
They're asking the simplest questions.
To then turn around and want to teach them about sex instead of teaching them about math and economics and
History, reading.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Science is important.
The only thing more absurd than that is going to the younger kids, grades 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and introducing them to sex and thinking that they understand their gender. You cannot understand your gender. You can understand who you're attracted to. Now, here's the issue I'm going to make.
Right.
Let's say you're 6 and you're a little boy and you're attracted to another little boy. Okay, that doesn't mean that you want to be a girl, and it doesn't mean that you're gay. It doesn't mean at that age you don't understand sex to begin with.
You don't understand the concept of that.
You just understand it from an artist's point of view. like to give you an example, like there might be something that's attractive about the kid. Listen, as a guy, I know when guys are attractive. I'm not an idiot. I'm not stupid. You know, you had that guy. What was his name? Fabio or something like that. You know,
It's not
Burt Reynolds. I mean, was a good looking guy. I mean,
Clint Eastwood.
But that doesn't mean I'm looking to date him. It just looks, I can tell you.
Right.
I know ugly people too. You had that kid from the Smorgasbord. What was his name? Mason Reese. You had Mason Reese. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and if you don't know who that is, look it up and you'll see what I'm saying. I know when somebody's ugly the same way. I mean, if you can tell when somebody's not good looking, you must be able to tell if they're good looking.
But that doesn't mean, like you said, you're transgender.
That doesn't mean that you're,
you're attracted.
And you may think that it does, and that's great. But at that age, you haven't lived long enough to make that decision.
Right.
You need to cook a little bit more.
Right.
And then later on, you make that decision at when you're of major age. By all means, age of majority.
Mm-hmm.
By all means, do what you got to do, and I think the government should help you out at that point.
But our government is going after them as extremists.
And it's not even just that. They're using stuff. They're talking about using stuff called puberty blockers. These are experimental. They don't even have, literally, I don't think they have 10 years worth of research on this.
Wow.
So they don't know what kind of cancers these things are going to cause in the future.
Right.
Okay?
Any kind of
think of it like this.
You name it.
Talcum powder had asbestos in it. And they used it for how many years?
And now they got vaginal cancer.
Exactly. Vaginal and fallopian and uterine. And my point is this. You don't know what you're doing to. The other thing is, what if they're wrong?
Baby powder too. That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. What if they're wrong? Okay. What if they, you're acting like these kids are incapable of making a mistake. I make mistakes. I'm 59 years old.
Yeah, 61.
I make mistakes.
We all make mistakes.
You can't tell me that at 6 I didn't make mistakes. I was perfect then. I had I was a beautiful mind, right? It would be stupid to think that. Okay, and at that age, everything is black and white. Everything is yes and no, yes and no. When you get to my age, you understand it's mostly gray. Okay, it's mostly like you're talking about two truths. And this would be the only time it applies, is that we understand that life is much more like the yin-yang symbol. The yin-yang symbol is like a black and white symbol with like kind of what would look like an S in the middle. And then the right version of it, it has a black dot in the white side and a white dot in the black side. And what that means is that in all good, somewhere there's bad. It's somewhere in there. It's there. In all bad, there's a little good. Now, I would give you the example of a snake, okay? So a snake, eats a squirrel. It's bad for the squirrel, but the snake was hungry, so it's good for the snake.
They eat the rats.
So, exactly, like a snake will eat a rat. Okay, so it's bad for the rat, but it's good for your neighborhood because you're not going to get, fleas and all of this.
Right.
It's good for the snake because the snake got full. There's good and bad in everywhere,
right.
Okay?
Right.
And so that's kind of, I'm going to let that go. I'm sorry. I got a little too deep into that.
No, but our kids today don't need that to be pushed on. And that's why these moms are fighting. So, what I'm saying is, they're wearing purple to support the Moms for Liberty. So, when we wear purple,
wear it.
Look, I got a bandana wrapped around my bike. It's a purple bandana.
Actually left it in the bathroom.
I think I left it.
You did. I'm not just...
But anyway, it's... But no, I know that's the headband. Right, that's my headband.
I totally threw him off on that one. I'm sorry.
I got a purple bandana on my bike. Right.
With the purple. No, sorry.
But they're wearing purple to support the Moms for Liberty. So if you want to support them, there you go.
With a purple bandana
and of course they got something online where you can help them out.
Did it.
If you want to support them, and we should, because these children don't deserve that.
Well,
right?
Anyway. During this, I was just starting to do a parody song in my head. I was doing with a purple bandana and a bike with a flat.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Carrie, no way.
Anyway, we gotta do some songs for you.
I got my guitar right. Yeah, listen, guys, if you want to hear us play some music, we really suck, but we could do some stuff like like some Prince or something like that. And actually, probably pull it off pretty decently. It's funny. You guys can't see this, but I got Kerry staring at me from my my computer in the back. We're doing this on my phone.
Oh,
And
yeah.
behind my phone is my
There's a
computer. And Kerry's staring at me like he wants to kill me right now, I swear. Anyway, all right, guys, you want to do any more or are you done?
Oh, I think we're done. We're just
You
like,
sure?
well, I just wanted to bring up one more thing that's very sad about the crime we just were talking about. It's just, I think it just happened yesterday or this morning in Seattle. A young lady, pregnant young lady, just pregnant, was shot. We don't know the whole story yet, but she was shot in her car, and both of them did not survive. That's the crime that's going on because the police. I mean, they defunded the police in Seattle also. Seattle's very bad, and this poor family now, the husband to be, the father to be, the husband. I feel sorry for the family, but it's very sad. And that's what I'm talking about, the crime in our country today. That's why we got to watch who we vote for, because we need people out. We need people in to fight and protect the law.
You know, you bring that up, and now that makes me want to say something. And guys, I hope you understand what I'm going to say here. Okay, I really just want to send.
So prayers out to that family.
I really just want to send some advice your way, okay? And I really hope you understand where this is coming from. So, a mother got shot by her neighbor, okay, through a door.
Oh, Florida.
And yeah, and when they first announced it, sounding like this lady, the neighbor, went over to the mother's house and shot her through her door. This is what I first thought. Okay, this is the way it sounded.
That was the first story, right?
That's the way it sounded. So my first instinct was she's got to go to jail. I mean, she could have killed anyone in the house, and
yeah, the lady got kids.
And I thought the mother got hit in the house by accident. You know what I'm saying? Like the bullet flew through. So I was like, this lady's got to go to jail, man. There's no two ways about it.
Right.
And I heard that she was doing the stand your ground thing.
Really,
and I was like, you're not standing your ground if you went over to this lady's house to shoot her.
Right.
You actually went to murder her. That's what you did, and you murdered her.
Right.
So later on that afternoon, I hear the real story. And the real story is that
we got the facts.
She threw a skate or something. Now again, I'm not taking either side. I'm just going by the facts of the case.
By the facts of the case.
That I know.
The lady that got shot, her kids were playing outside.
Yeah, and the lady threw a skate. Now, I don't know if she actually threw it at the kid or if the kid got hit by accident.
Like
I don't know. I can't say that.
Right.
The kid got hit by a skate. Let's just make it easy, okay?
Right.
Okay, so the kid got hit by a skate. He must have
went home, told his mother.
He must have ran home, told his mother. His mother must have lost her freaking mind. And she ran over to this lady's house. Now, there's been a lengthy feud going on with these two for like 4 years, 4 years or something like that. So the mother, instead of calling the police, having a police officer go over and speak to the lady, because the lady would have been arrested for assault. She threw a skate. It would have been over. It would have been done.
And you get the whole story.
And then the kids would have their mother alive. And so instead of doing that, she went over and she started banging on the door like a lunatic, not knowing what this lady had inside the house. Now, if that door was banging and swaying and it looked like it was going to come off the hinges or whatever.
We don't
Again,
know.
I don't know this.
We weren't right. We're just going with the facts.
And even my judgment in this isn't really, I don't really care one way or another what happens to this lady, okay? So it's not about that. I'm just trying to give you guys a more civilized way to look at things. If this lady had just called the cops and had them come out and go over with her and gone over trying to squelch things, she'd be alive and the kids would have their mother. Okay, the kids would have their mother.
But she probably went over like you said.
But she probably went over and lost her mind. It was like, I'm gonna F and kill you, but
kick your ass, come out here now.
In this day and age, if you're saying that to people, people believe it.
And they take it.
And so the lady shot through the door and killed her.
And that's your stand your ground.
But you got to remember that she went to the house. That was not, I understand.
Smart idea.
It was a skate that got thrown. Okay, so you call a cop and you have him handle it. That's why we have cops. If you're going to handle it like a thug and you're going to run over there, then a thug's life is what you're going to get. I'm sorry. I don't mean to put it like that.
No, we don't, because we feel bad. It's sad for the kids.
Yeah,
it's sad for all around.
It's really, the kids don't have a mother now. Her life is gone. This lady's life is gone. I mean, literally, it ruined 2 families in a matter of minutes.
Seconds. Right.
And all you had to do was just call the cops.
Police.
So what I'm going to tell you people is, when you get really pissed off, step back for 10 seconds.
Right. Think. Use your head.
Think of who's going to be hurt the most. In this case, who do you think is hurt the most? The kids.
The kids. They saw it. They were there.
Yeah. So, I mean, so this lady who went to defend her kids actually did the most damage of their entire life. I mean, think about that.
Because like you said, you have to think. Before you do action, think. That's why we got to bring people.
How does it go? Pride goes before the fall. Your pride is what's gonna fuck you up.
Right.
Is what I'm basically saying.
Right.
Okay?
Right. I mean, it's good to have pride, but you have to think.
People don't understand what that means. That means when you got that pride, you're gonna be walking a little bit, but eventually you're gonna trip and fall. It's just a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
So just think, take it light. Don't let everything get to you so heavy.
No.
And
Calm down. Think, like we said, because look what can
take
happen.
the right channels.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Even out here in the street, anybody can approach you for something. You can get.
We can't afford to lose any subscribers.
We don't want to lose our fans. We don't want to lose our friends. But you could be honest with somebody. I saw a guy bump into a lady. No lie. By Bryant Park. Black guy walks into a lady. Bumps into her. She turns around and says something. He says, "Shut the F up, bitch." Now, he walked away, but just say he turned around and punched her in the head.
Yeah, absolutely.
She'd be on the floor.
Or knifed her.
Or knifed her or something.
But he literally, you don't know.
I mean, he literally looked like he was going to hit her, and she went back. No, walk away.
Why? Yeah.
Walk away. I mean, I didn't want to see it. I was hoping, and thank God he didn't do it, but he went right in the face and said, "Fuck you, bitch," like that. And he said,
if you
"Watch
need
where
an
you're
example,
walking."
if you need to, like, we come from a different generation. We come from a generation where, we kind of had manners and respect and stuff. But if you need an idea to see what the generation is like today, look up the lady who got beat up on the subway.
Oh, jeez.
Look up the way she lost her eye, and watch what that guy does to her. And I'll tell you personally, I
pray for that lady every day.
I don't mean to say this, and I don't want to judge the guy, but the guy who walked through the turnstile and then ran out like he was a cartoon character.
Right, he just took off.
To me, I don't know. I kind of think you could have done something, pal. I'm sorry. I think you should have just ran over and tackled the guy, at least get him off of her.
Something at him.
There would have been two of you on him.
Right.
And the truth of the matter is, if you ran over and knocked him over, he would have probably taken off. He wasn't looking to fight a man. He was looking to fight a woman.
That's why he grabbed her from behind and threw her down.
He wasn't looking to fight a man.
They're thugs, punks. They go after.
You jump on him and you choke him. I mean, that's the truth. I don't mean to bring up the Neely thing, but if that's
Seriously.
what it takes to save that woman, you do it.
The woman lost an eye.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean,
and even she said about Neely, she said, had he been there, I might not be in the situation I'm in.
Right.
In the pain I'm in.
See? Now that guy that could have saved that, because after he ran, he went back and kicked a couple more times.
Yep.
So he could have stopped that.
Yep.
But like you said, we can't make judgments, but think.
So what do you think? Are we done?
We're done, people.
Guys, that was
pleasure.
42 freaking minutes, and it was only supposed to be like 12. Anyway,
we love you.
Yeah, we just can't get enough of you guys, really. Anyway, have a great day. I don't enjoy your weekend.
Oh, listen, all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Be safe.
Ditto.